Friday. Okay, what is this noise here? As soon as I'm starting, there's always some devilment. That's what they say, right? My computer's spazzing out over here, so we're just gonna knock this bad boy out. As soon as I started, my laptop started making this crazy noise. Good. May you rest in peace. Anyway, I'm glad to be here. It's Friday, May 26th. For me, it's 10:04 p.m., but over on the East Coast, it's 6:04, give or take a few minutes. And I had a wonderful day sleeping. Woke up late because I was up late, and Sister Danita, I spoke with her, and she has so much wonderful things to say about everyone. We're going to continue to help her and find out ways to sustain her because she has a wonderful life-giving word for us. And yes, the plate of food might be spicy, but it sure is nutritious. Anyway, let me get into the chat room here. Mixed Genre Faves, thank you for all that you do in promoting the show. It makes a big difference. And like I said, no matter what, I'm just so appreciative of everybody here who does what they do. So I said, let me have a little fun show tonight. I'm going to talk about a few things. Originally, when I spoke about the jealous church elders, I just had the title as Jealous Elders, but I said, let me widen the scope in one sense and narrow it in another sense, because we can always identify with that pretty much. Love and light to you, Sister D. Griffin. Mrs. SCURV is sleeping. I'm wide awake. As usual at this time of the night. She put some time and some effort in that garden today, and it was piping hot. The sun, oh God, I woke up late and it was still piping hot on the inside. You know, much love, Mixed Genre Faves, always. But yeah, I want to say first that these photos are photos randomly put up. It's not anyone in particular that I know in these photos. It doesn't mean that these young ladies in the photos are evil or jealous. They're random. I do not know them. And I just want to say that at first, but I just wanted to pick a few faces that were seasoned. The church hats, that imagery is what I wanted to speak about. Reese, Reese is getting in here on time. Not that you're late, but you're slipping in the back door most of the time. But, you know, I'm glad. This is going to be a freestyle. This is going to be a how could I put it? I'm not pressed in this one. Not that I'm ever pressed because I freestyle. It doesn't matter to me because I can do that because I've been talking all my life, and the life I live with all the experiences that I've had. It makes it easier for me because I just have to look back into the past of my own experiences and the experiences I've seen that others have with anything that I talk about. And I'm so glad to be here at this age of 60 years old and to reflect back on all the things I've gone through. Now I know why I had to go through and see the things that I saw all through my life. Yes, I do see a couple of WhatsApp messages coming in. As always, when I start a show, the messages start coming in. I can set my watch by that. Bling, 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 bling. It's crazy. But anyway, nothing will stop or distract the actual show. Matter of fact, I'm going to cut this particular phone off so they can have fun doing what they do, and I can have fun doing what I do with total focus and no distractions. Naima Ra, how are you? Yes, the Tanya 23 experience. I like that name. Yeah, I'm going to cook in a little while. Just want to greet those who are coming in on time and a little earlier than others, you know, because it does take a time for the notifications to go out. Those that do go out, because not too many go out. Also want to say that if you check back on the channel, make sure that you're subscribed, because YouTube is unsubscribing a lot of my subscribers left and right. Too many people have come and they had to do it 3 and 4 times over. It's like, listen, I subscribed to the channel and I went back next week. I was unsubscribed and I wonder why I wasn't seeing anything that you put out. And that's the reason why. It's a war. It's a war. That's what's going on. And I don't know why, but it doesn't bother me because I have a lot of your phone numbers and email addresses, and you're connected up in different ways. So if they mess up something on their platform, we can always go outside and vibe outside of YouTube. So they're wasting their time. It's just that they try to frustrate somebody, and it's not going to happen. Yes. Nehemia Purpose. Yes, it is. And this is something that I can cook on forever. And during the course of it, after a while, when I finish ranting, I want to know if anybody wants to come on in and share their stories, right? But yeah, it's not just the jealous church elders, but it is jealous elders. I just wanted to add a little flavor by having it in that way. But let me just get right into it. How can I say it? Okay, since we put church in it, and we're going to get to just plain old jealous family elders, I could have made that the title, but let's just say the jealous church elders. You know, I can't say I was raised in the church super strict. Every Sunday you got to be there early as a child with Sunday school, and then the actual services in the daytime, go out and get something to eat and come back again to the service into the nighttime. And then you're there till late, and then you got to get them go to school. It was like my weekend ended. Oyala and Indigo King. Welcome. I got to greet you all. Now, right now, I'm going to just zone out into my head and just dig out things, you know, because my head's so big, not on a narcissistic level, but physically big. I have a lot more storage space, but I still have to move things around to get these things out. But, you know, I'm not going to minimize. It wasn't mandatory. It wasn't pushed on me. It wasn't like I had a guillotine hanging over me, like if you don't go to church and move your head from this guillotine, it's going to get chopped off. It wasn't that threat. It wasn't that you have to do this, you have to do that. You see what I mean? So it was a little more, I could have went to other churches. My mother went to different churches. She wasn't jumping around. She sung. She was requested to sing in different places. She had an operatic voice and operatic training from the Juilliard School of Music. Google it, see how high up that was. So it was a different type of church upbringing, although she would go to certain churches sometimes on a regular. There was one around two corners that she'd go to, and she wouldn't force me, but she would say, hey, let's get up and go. Now, my father was a different story. He wasn't hearing it. He wasn't against it, but he's like, yeah, he's working hard. He's going to rest. He's going to go in the yard. And he occasionally went without really getting into it like that. It's like, oh yeah, Mr. SCURV, and look at him, how you doing? But they knew, like, he knew the game. I put it that way. He knew the game. So my mother knew the game too, and they taught me the game of church, but they also wanted me to have a spiritual life, and they taught me things beyond the scope of church. So I didn't feel any kind of connection where everything these people are saying is absolutely true, because I knew it wasn't. I knew these people, and when I say these people, I'm going to say church folks. I'm speaking really loose tonight. I woke up maybe like 5 hours ago. I woke up around 5 o'clock, 4:30. Because like I said, I was up until about 8 today. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to lay in the bed and toss and turn. I took a little shot of sleepy juice, just this little, mild sleep aid, because I run myself so much in the nervous energy, not nerves like I'm jittery and scared of something, but just you keep going until you start using up those fumes. And I wanted to make sure. Sister Hope Rice, the only rice I F's with. I know you like this topic. I know a lot of folks are gonna like this topic. And like I said, in a little while, I'll have everybody chime in if they want to. You'll keep this show going as long as you want. It's not like I'm going to end it and say, okay, I'm out of here. I might if there's no participation, but like I said, I'm going to make it entertaining. And there's a lot of things I want to tell. So you go to this place, or me rather, and I would be visiting different churches, going along with my mother or friends of mine, close friends of mine in elementary school. We'd go. It was more of a fun thing. It was more of like, let's go because we're going to eat after whatever. Now they may have to go back, but I'd break out and go home. So it was still an extension of the whole social dynamic back then. And to be honest, there were pretty girls in certain churches that I wanted to get next to. I wasn't out there like that as a little boy, but it was like, oh yeah, I like that girl. I'm going to this church. I'm not gonna lie. So nothing really ever happened out of that. There was one situation I will tell you now, and I'm gonna have it in a private conference call, right? There's one situation where I had this crush on this young lady. Of course, she was my age. I must have been like about 12, and she's about 12. Really pretty though. I was like, whoa, really pretty. Stayed pretty. Later on, decades later in my life, she popped up again as a super freak. That's all. That's not even something I put up on YouTube. I gotta tell, but she was twisted. She was twisted. She was twisted. She mixed Christianity and the churchified lifestyle with sex. That was wild. So remind me if you want to do a conference call on that one and start out on that one. I will tell you the gory details. It was out there. And again, I'll just stick this one in there. A lot of the women in the church were freaks. And a lot of these old, jealous church elders, which can sometimes be men, but oftentimes I found that it was women. They were some old church freaks that were mad that nobody was approaching them no more. That's really what it was. And a lot of them would not like the younger sisters that were coming into the church because they were young and had nice shapes and had their future ahead of them and weren't emotionally damaged like many of these church ladies were, these elders. I'm focusing on them old church ladies who always want to be one to limit your pleasure, to always lord over you from the back row of the church as an usher. You couldn't even chew gum at 1 minute per bite. You know what I mean? That's slow bite. You got to, you look out the corner of your eye using your peripherals, and they steady watching you, and you just chewing real slow, 1 bite per minute, and they still tap you. You got to spit that gum out. Yes, Hope. Oh, Hope is coming up with some wowzers. Oh man, Hope, you cracking me up. Hope, you do it to me this week. What was the other one? What was the other one? Oh, I got it written down on my paper here. I got some. Look, I don't think that company will allow me to write that exactly, but I got to get that message out. But Hope was so funny in that one that she said, you know, about she's smacking somebody when you're trying to get off. I don't know. I got so many things written down here, but I have it down here and I'm going to go over there. Yeah, they need that dick pussy, the F-U-C-K, that Jesus belief out. Truth. Truth. So whenever you, as a young man, would be friendly with one of these young ladies in the church in the name of the Lord, they were always there hanging around, always thinking the dirtiest stuff, acting like they cared for you, but they were really jealous. They were really jealous that you, as a handsome young man, wasn't coming after them. But they knew that you couldn't come after them because if their ass was 62 years old and you were 13, 14 years old, but they can see the handsome thing in you. And don't think that a lot of these jealous church female elders weren't perverts either. I know this for a fact because, like I told you, when I was younger and just get my little muscles up, I was 15, 16, a lot of them were coming around and had me come over their house and do things with them. And, you know, some of them weren't that old. But what I mean is that they wanted theirs too. They saw it in you and they just as bad, but they don't say it the same way. See the old dirty men that's sitting there by the alcohol, drinking alcohol by the liquor shop, and they're all piled up in a car that just don't seem to move. So one of the guys has the car and the other ones go and get the liquor and they all sit up in the car. Girl, you're going to be something when you get older. You're going to be something when you looking at her now like that. Ain't no, you're going to be something when you get older. Oh, you're going to be a heartbreaker. No, you looking at that little child in lust now, but you framing it that way. But those are guys in the street. But what about those in the church? These horny, jealous church elders who want to block up a good experience. Or like I said, they're not just looking out for you. They just don't want you to get the dick that they want from that other young guy. Let's just be real. You see what I mean? Right. Oh, Naima, I might have to have you come in and break this down too. Many want the pastor. I keep telling people many hoes dress modestly. Exactly. And we can use the loose language tonight because as a family, we know how we talk. Let me just say something on that AI generated voice that I put to one of my articles that I wrote like 12 years ago about you might be his wife, but are you his bottom, BITCH? If you read to the end of that article, many women that did not like it, they didn't listen to the end. You understand that the man also has to submit in the same way to his woman. I was just focusing on the woman because of the term. But a lot of folks that text me, oh no, that was misogynistic. Oh, is this? You didn't listen to the end. Surgical precision, baby. We go in like that. So for those who misunderstood, then go back and listen to it. But I have that written as a printed out article written and I'll join them together. So if a person wants to read it word for word, but that was me experimenting with that technology, using that voice from text to speech. So I was up playing around. I said, oh, it worked out pretty good, you know, and you could tell when it's one of those things because some words get messed up, you know, or they just, but it was cool. It was cool. I'm not going to do a whole lot of that, but there'll be times when I do stuff like that. You see what I mean? So, oh yes, witches in the church. Oh God, we got a lot to cover tonight. So envy. They may have been the superstar in the church back in the day, getting the pastor's DICK, but these days they're older. And I find that there are a lot of women that as they get older, they get more grouchy. They start thinking about the past more. They feel entitled to get all the things that they didn't get. If they weren't running around so much when they were young, they might have been settled. And they can't face that they don't have the physical beauty anymore. They get horny too. I know it. I've been with enough older church women. And you slipping out the back door and they come to church the next day and they all in the spirit, but they was really in the spirit when you was down there licking that thing. And age doesn't take away from that. That's a role they play. Don't let the church hat fool you. Don't let it fool you. There's a lot of freaky thoughts going up under their mind, but I find that they're very envious of a lot of the younger women in the church. Because you see, and I've said it before, if you're 70 years old, you wrote the chapter of 23 in your life. You wrote the chapter of 37 when you were at age 37 in your life. You wrote the chapter of 59. So you know how limited it is. Stop trying to go after somebody who is younger, who haven't written their chapters yet. Let them do their thing. Let them find themselves. Don't corral them with religion, trying to shut them down. I'm not saying for them to go out there and run wild, but let them explore themselves. They'll come to around, hopefully. Give them a little example, whatever, and be real with them. Half of these church leaders don't want to help the young sisters in there. They don't want to talk about how it was when they were young. They're going to paint a picture of being so holy. But it wasn't holy, 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 merciful and mighty. No, it was horny, horny, horny. That's so true, Mick Genre Faves. See? She says, oh, let me put it up on the screen here. Yeah, I don't even understand why anyone would be envious of another. We all cannot be the same. Exactly. But the envy. And Sister Oyala says people be popping up in your inbox with something to say. Yeah, because see, they like to hide it. I'll call them out. Like someone had made a comment about me calling them weird in a message in response to Sister Danina. And I'm like, if I called you weird, there's probably a reason why I called you weird. Because there are people who do a lot of weird things and they want to hide behind and cause division when they see things going smooth. That's all it is, a spirit of division. You know, so you're always going to get that because there are people who do this particular type of thing and they want to be at the helm of this platform. I come on here every night, damn near. I put some up every day. This is how I live. Sister Hope knows it. Sister Hope has been in our home in Orlando. She knows there's a bigger life that we have. You know what I mean? This is just an extension of how I live and what I do. I'm always cerebral, thinking things, talking, laughing, hospitable. And they always got these people that come around that just, you don't even see their face. They ain't got nothing on their profile. They ain't got nothing that they watch on their YouTube page. It's just something blank. This channel has no content. Who the hell are you? You see what I mean? Sister Gifty in the house. I'm glad you're here. We got so much to talk about. But these post-menopausal, backed up sexually, jealous church elders are the reason why there's so much hell in the church. And yes, it can be some of the men too. So I'm not just going to say it's just the church women, but from what I see in the church, they carry the most weight while acting the most holy, And I don't like it. I don't like it, even though I'm not in that church. There's churches out here, and you could see it in the same way, but a different way because of the culture. The same thing. And they feel as though we have to give them this honor and respect. I'm not going to say walk up to them in disrespect, but just know within yourself who they are and what they do. And they're there because they have no life when you really think about it. Not all, but some, but a whole lot of them. We can say it that way. Yeah, Hope. I know. I've seen a lot of dentures coming out when I was a young boy, trying to make me theirs and turn me out. I wasn't dumb. Go ahead and do it. But really and truly, they don't think any different other than those who are much, much younger. And there's that envy that way. You know, they don't like what they see when they look in the mirror. But see, really and truly, if they had embraced true spirituality, meaning that go within themselves and seek to grow, those thoughts and that competitive feeling and wanting to stop somebody from living life, that would fall off. You'd say to yourself, hey, they're living life. May they be safe. May they not catch a disease or hurt each other's feelings or get into something tragic. But that's life. And we all have to learn from our experiences. We all have to learn from the things that we've gone through. Let us have a chance to do that. It's just that these days, the consequences are a little more severe. I mean, as a teenage boy, you know, STDs were out there, but it was non-existent if you traveled in clean circles. But now people forget, but HIV is out there. AIDS is out there. You know, some heavy duty stuff is out there that can really hurt us. And for some reason, when was the last time you heard of anything about AIDS on the front newspaper? It's out there just as much. Back in '83, when it was banging, I mean, it was like, it wasn't the Daily News or whatever. It was a Daily AIDS Review. And it's just as urgent, but it's hitting us even more. So we don't hear about it. So this is one reason why you should not trust the mainstream media, because they choose to focus on what they want to focus on and what the people who control them want them to focus on. They choose what is the news. There's a lot of us still sitting up because there's no cure for it. The thing is that there's a lot of pills out there and morning after pills and type stuff where it preserves you. And if you got it, the medication, if you can afford it, preserves you. So you have a longer life and a longer chance to be able to spread it out even more if you're living like that. And there are a lot of people out here who are promiscuous still because of that they don't care if they get HIV. There's medication that will keep them living just as long or almost as long as they usually would. Imagine that. And remember, there's a lot of women that have it. A lot of men, a lot of women. There's a lot of older women that have it. Don't think because the woman is like up in years that this is some safe stuff. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Let me check something here. Okay, let me knock this out. Something I have to remove here. For some reason, my Rumble stream was acting up, so it may have to discontinue. But I'll upload this show to Rumble after we're done, as I always do. Yeah, they're out here, and people don't care. Where's the education in the church? I mean, they should be educating the community. We'll get back on the main part of the topic, but just to come think about it. We have enough retired teachers. We have enough people who are doctors and they maybe retired, health specialists, people in different areas, and they sit down there and indulge in the gossip and, you know, parking lot gossip and leave. But they should set something up. You already have a structure there as a church. And like I always say from the past, the black church was a staple in the black community during slavery. Whether you called yourself a Christian or not, you wanted to be there because that was the least chance of a day that you would probably get lynched or killed or hurt. The slave master was there listening to you, what you were saying now. They didn't want no revolutionary talk. But the bottom line is that that was a place where we socialized. That was a place where we ate some good food. Collectively, we came together. We passed information that was pertinent. And it was the backbone. And now it's a clown show. Now it's celebrity pastor worship. Now you get those phone calls during the week and you think that something is going on between some husband and some wife, and you position yourself in strategic places to get near, to overhear conversations and to see where the man's eyes are if he's not looking at that next woman's backside. Did you see Brother Davis? He couldn't take his eyes off of Sister Williamson's ass. That's all you come there for? It's a damn shame. You ain't got no ounce of spiritual ascension in you. And especially when you're envious. Maybe you don't have a man. Maybe you've done well for yourself financially. Maybe you haven't. Maybe the next sister who may be older than you or younger than you, she has a man but we, all our lives are a direct result of our decisions and circumstances. And it's for us to take a time to meditate, look within, and change our circumstances. But here you are throwing out negative energy. Even if you don't say it to anybody else, you've thrown out negative energy because of what people have. You don't know what they did to get what they have. You don't know how they had to struggle to get what they have. Hell, I mean, people look at me like I got a whole lot of, I'm kind of tight and struggling right now. I'm all right, but I'm still in it. It's not like, oh, he made it through. But people get envious over things in their imagination. Oh, I guess they doing good. They done went and bought a brand new car. And I remember last year they were taking up donations to pay their rent. Now they got a car. They need to pay that money back. You see what I mean? With that kind of spirit, this is why you're not going to be blessed yourself. You're going to drag yourself to church and get a dose of hate because you're hating. You're going to see something good in somebody and you're going to get it back because you're hating, and it's not a good karma to get back. Yeah, Gifty. Clown showing no men. Just, let me see. No eligible, all gay. Exactly. And that's the way the pastor wants it. Because when you see a church like that, the pastor's some dude that either he's undercover gay or he's running through the church and wants all the women to himself and doesn't want any other men to come up there and get none. That's what it is. Don't be a charismatic type of dude going up in there. You're mannerable, but they can see there's something to you and you have a little magnetism to you. That pastor doesn't like you. He sends his imps after you. His little sneaking deacons and this one and that one to get to know you and throw you off and go back with information that's damning about you. And if there's none, they'll make it up. If I was in America right now, I'll be going to so many different churches on a Sunday. I'm going to be recording stuff. I'm going to expose stuff because this thing is something like this mood, this attitude in the church and these church elders with their jealousies. It's like that piece of doodle that sticks to the side of the bowl that no matter how you flush it, it holds on for dear life. Why don't you go somewhere? Why don't you go away? That's not needed and that's not wanted. It's crazy. You're right. They want to they want to tell you who to marry when it's for their own interests. Exactly. Yeah. Eddie Long and TD Snakes. That's right. That's right. Jesus is a business. Looking like somebody's big walrus and want to challenge somebody when they have something to ask or say that challenges their stronghold over the lives of so many people. And they got these people under a spell. Just like I said, jealous church elders and their spells of failure cast over your life. That if you don't do it the way they want you to do it or get behind them, they're going to cast spells on you as far as their words are concerned, with mind control, to put things into your head. And also those who go with the witchery and cast spells. They want to bring you all these bracelets and they want to bring you all this jewelry to wear. Oh, I got something for, just wear, go ahead and wear. I ain't wearing nothing. I'm going 50 miles away somewhere out in the woods. I'm going to dig a hole and put some kerosene on it and burn it. Try it sometimes. You'll find an instantaneous unlocking of their heavy stronghold over your life of control. They don't want to see you around other people. So they do little sneaky things to get them people away from you. They'll whisper in their ears. dedicated demons to your life. Dedicated demons to your life. I'm going to do like Umar Johnson and say it a third time. Dedicated demons to your life. That 3-time stuff works. Except with him, he only says it when he's saying, hit the cash app, hit the cash app. If Umar Johnson was a boxer and his opponent was John Cash App, he'd be hitting them left and right. It would always be a knockout. Oh, man. And talk about so incestuous in their thoughts. There's a side of me that want to go to one of them churches, just wreak havoc and just blow everything up, because I can see who's who. I remember there was a church, first lady, as they call it, the pastor's wife. And there's a brother here who knows them personally when he's on the show. And he knows the church. He's been there, right? This is in Queens, New York. The pastor's wife was jealous of this next woman who was the mother of several of my good friends. The pastor's wife did not like her because she sung so well. And yeah, Naim, the Umar effect. She sung so well and kind of overshadowed her, but she wasn't trying to overshadow her. She just sung her heart out. She was struggling a little bit with several kids. Her husband was sick. And she was sincere when she came to church. So we all have different levels of development in our personal perspectives and insights. So while I'm so used to the church, the black church, and I knock it for the crap that people have turned it into, there are some people who haven't found out yet. And they're subservient to the teachings and they fall in line with the churchified stuff, but they're sincere, but they don't know they're going up a path in that hierarchy that's going to do nothing for them. So I can't knock them, because maybe later on they'll develop, you see? So when I talk to them and they're, yeah, Jesus this, and it's like, okay, sister, I love you. You know that. And, you know, you just have to understand what it is. But too many people, especially online, oh, that's the wrong way. Relax, relax. Every splinter that you step on in the daytime and you can't wait to get home, right? To take that splinter out, and you just can't find a way to get, you put the tweezers on it and it's on your toe somewhere that you can't get to the bottom as far as pulling it up. Like when you were young, I used to be able to pull my foot up all the way. I used to be able to put my toe in my mouth. That's something nasty to do, but I was flexible. Shoot, you think I can do that now? Maybe if I try or after a little bit. But what I'm saying is that splinter that you couldn't get out, you just give up and say, you know what? I'll deal with this tomorrow. Let me go on to sleep. And you wake up and you walk with that little toe up and you touch on the ground and wait a second, nothing hurt. You run your hand under there. Wait a second, where did it go? That splinter worked its way out somehow by itself. So the ignorance of people, or the fact that they are not at a certain level of understanding in their personal walk, let them have it where it works out. It's not for you to chew them up, because they won't be influenced by you later on anyway, because they'll know and see the attitude that you had. Relax, let them be. If they ask you something, fine. If they ask you how you're living and what your journey is on this level, then share with them in a gentle way. Teach them. But what you don't want to become is some of these faces here on this banner. And again, I don't know these people. These were images that I snatched offline, but they are representing that while we talk on the show. They're all probably the sweetest people in the whole world. I don't know, though. Them church hats scare me. When I see the church hat, it means something's coming. Not always, right? Because some people are sincere. But most that are like that, they know what goes on in the church, and they stay quiet about it, and they don't make people, you know, you got to call that out. You get to call that out. And I know a few handful of women that are a little younger than me. They are turning into that. Envious, watching you. And these chicks, I'm going to say it this way. These chicks, yeah, I was a kid. Toe in the mouth. Check out. She said not to in the mouth. Yeah, but they're turning into that. And I could see it. I could see it. And their lives are suffering too. These chicks like this, they're whizzes on the internet. A lot of them leave the church service and go home and check out your Facebook page, check out your Instagram, check out this, check out that. I'm going to say it's to just a church. Like with me, there are people who are watching and they make phone calls. Some don't come around here no more, but they're still very much in it. Who is that woman that he took the picture of on the beach? I wonder where Mrs. SCURV was. Well, she was the one, damn it, taking the damn picture. She understands that people know me through what I do and may want to have a selfie or a picture. She don't get mad at that. Sometimes I put things up or forget that there's footage that I walked in the street with and put it up months later. I wonder what he was doing there. Oh, forget it when I did the pool party. I was screwing all of them chicks as far as what people were trying to insinuate. And Mrs. SCURV was in America. And the dudes, hey, SCURV, man, you better watch yourself, man. You can't be doing that. I did a favor for a sister. So what else was I doing? And I don't care if they're listening or not. If you watch closely, half of those chicks, or all of them, were into each other. They weren't paying me no mind. Notice that there weren't any men around. Notice how go look at that thing real close and see when they started touching each other real quick. I got some footage that I could have put in, but YouTube wouldn't have let me. So me being in my position, I see a lot. There's a lot that I see, and I'm like, okay, cool. Take that part out, okay? Sure. You can leave that part in, sure. But my eyes, but people gonna come and tell you what I'm doing just off of what they see. If I have my camera out, I don't care. See, when it's regular looking folk, when it's half naked, shapely black women, oh, what are you doing? But if I'm talking to one of these old church ladies or something, it's okay. How dare you? And I enjoyed myself. I enjoyed myself that day. We laughed. I got along. They saw that I wasn't trying to be all over them. I was close to them. We were laughing and talking. It was having a good old time because I understood where the lines were drawn. And so now we're the best of acquaintances right now. They've invited me to things. They've invited me and Mrs. SCURV to things. But not everybody knows. The same thing back in America. Same thing. So I got to limit myself to who I can videotape. Imagine I was in one of them churches. But let me tell you something. To be real, we know that there are things in our African background that are very powerful, but it's far and few between. A lot of what is put out there as African spirituality is no more than witchery. There's some real things and there's some counterfeit things, right? I'm not in a place to be able to discern which is which because that's not my area of expertise. I look at the person and the spirit behind it and how they're acting behind it. See? So we talk about witches, right? A lot of stuff is misunderstood. We know the oppressor has taken our original stuff, twisted it around and made it to be something evil. So when they put it out in the movies and put it out in the shows, we run away from it. But yeah, run away from his version of it, but not your version of it. I will say that out here, 95% of those who are claiming to have these abilities, it's quackery. They want money. You got some real stuff out here, right? But it's not going to be easy to find. And they don't play with what they do. Saying that now, that being said, there are a lot of people who in the church, right? Well, let's just say the church is infested with some twisted mess that they do that was passed on to them. And I'm not knocking somebody who is into the real thing. I'm talking about this counterfeit foolishness that they hold on to, yet they profess, I love Jesus and he's what's going to save me. I don't need all that other stuff. But they go and do these things after or before, the night before they even come to the service. And they believe in that more than they believe in what they say they believe in. And half of them are witches. We talk about things here in the show. I'm not saying that's what, because it could be explained. But I'm talking about this twisted stuff these old evil ass church ladies and church elders indulge in because they hate to see progress in their midst. These are the worst neighbors you want to have. They go into church every Sunday, but they nosy up in your business, calling the county on you. If you have something in your yard they think that you shouldn't have. Anything, they the ones that call the cops every time you might even have a disagreement with your spouse. It's like, yo, we weren't even loud. How come the cops are at the door? And they in there peeking through their Venetian blinds. Yeah, you're right, mixed genre faves. They're married to Jesus. And that's why they got that little battery operated boyfriend in the top drawer, under the drawers, or granny underwears next to their bed. Like I said, just like a lot of young girls in the church get hit on and, in a mild way, sometimes aggressive. As a young boy, I'm not saying I was 8 years old, but I'm just saying as a teenager, as a young teenager, 14, 15, some of them had their eyes on me. And some of them that weren't that old and looked kind of good, I was going over their house. And they kept it a secret. I kept it a secret. I know I wanted to do it. I was a horny little boy. You know what I mean? Grown women giving me blowjobs. I'm 14, 15 years old. Hell yeah. I'm not telling on this. And their friend coming over too. I ain't telling on that, but I'm telling on them now because they try to act so holy. And I had personal experience with these types. And they get possessive. They don't want you hanging around the young girls. They just like the old, dirty old men, whether they're in the church or not, who's either paying off some young girl or messing with some young girl and doing something, and they want to be possessive. These older church elders, these women in the church, they just the same way. Don't let me have to talk to you about, I see you over there with so-and-so all the time. What's going on with that? Don't forget about me. Yeah. They little clits throb too and get swollen too. Honestas. Mr. Sanford. Demons in sheep's clothing. But let me widen out the scope. We'll come back on the church folk, but just jealous elders, people in your family, aunts, mothers, cousins. They watched you grow up. They know your background. They see your trajectory. They know that you're set up for some sort of success if you keep on doing what you do. It doesn't mean millions of dollars. It means success that you can attain a balanced, fruitful, happy life. And you don't really know that much when you're young about those aunts, that mother, that father, that uncle, those cousins, a grandmother. You may not know much about them. You take them on face value until you start overhearing family conversations and you're old enough to understand what's being said. And you find out something about an aunt and you're shocked. You see, you're shocked. Oh, I didn't know Auntie Lola was a lesbian. Wow, that other lady, that explains why she was always around that other lady. But Auntie Lola was mad with you because you, as a girl child, had a friend that was only a friend, but Auntie Lola looked like she wanted to deal with the friend, but you didn't know that. So it's like she had an attitude. You might be 16, 17 years old, and your Auntie Lola was always trying to hang around when you had your friend over. And with you, it was just a friendship. She would come around and act funny. And your friend would say, you know, when you went out to help your parents take the groceries out of the truck, Auntie Lola came around and it's like she wanted to say some things bad about you. What did she say? What did she say? Well, I see you friends with her. Are you sure you know your friend that well? There might be some things about her you don't know. Dropping seeds of negativity because Auntie Lola wanted to carpet munch your friend. Life is complicated, y'all. A lot of times we're raised up to a point we all have that period of awakening. It's gradual sometimes, and then the tsunami comes. Sometimes we're naive for a long time and the awareness trickles in. But no matter what the situation is, when you open it up full throttle, you're like, whoa, what I thought the world was when I was 7 or 8 years old, I'm 18, I'm 20 now. It's a whole different ball game. And remember, there are some who at 8 years old and 9 years old knew the whole deal because their upbringing was more raw and basic, and you found out early. So we all come to our awareness at different rates. But when we get there, we can't unsee what we see. And when we see it, and when we see it in others, and other people can't see it and will be angry with you for coming up with the revelation of the things you see in their family member, that's not a good situation. Lots of times, keep your mouth shut. If they don't halfway see it or open to it, as long as it's not a dangerous situation that's going to bring harm to somebody, just let them go on with their business. Because some of these families, they are more counterproductive in-house, than any enemy that you can connect with unknowingly on the outside. It's crazy. And I'm a very positive person. But you have to acknowledge the minefields of negativity to continue to be positive and to continue to step around them traps. You understand? Because they're trap set. There was a woman, I'm going to call her by name because there's no way that she could be walking around alive right now. Lady lived next door to me. And there may be some who listen who remember, because there's a lot of folks in my old block who watch. Old woman named Zelda. She looked kind of like the lady on the right on this banner, but she wasn't as lighter complected. She was extremely overweight. And she was not only physically constipated in the way she looked, she just came off as emotionally constipated. And I was much young when I knew her. She was friends with people that were 2 doors down from me, and then eventually she rented a room next door. And when I was fixing up my mother's house that I inherited, she was always friendly down through the years. But gradually, this woman started turning on me. It's like out of nowhere, she got evil. Now, she was one of the old church lady prototypes, except she didn't go to church. That church lady's going wild. She always had this cane that she never seemed to use, only sometimes. She always had it in her hand, but it barely touched the ground. She just waddled down the street. And she was always in the window. And I never realized that this woman had a thing for me. Even though she was so much older, she didn't even look like she was sexually active, even though we can't say that, because this person's not having visitors come over, that they're not. Maybe if you sniff her fingers in the morning time, you'll see that she was getting off. But it was an envy that she had with me and my old girlfriend. Like she just didn't like my old girlfriend, right? In passing. But she always was up in my face. And when I began to do a lot of renovations, one time I was changing over from oil heat to gas heat. And to get the old oil tank out, it had to run empty, but there was always that sludge in the bottom because you can't take up an oil tank and turn it upside down and get everything out, especially when it's like under a staircase permanently built in. So what I was told to do is take maybe 2 or 3 boxes, full-size boxes of powdered detergent and pour it into the tank. And there was some other mixture that I had, and let it sit there so it soaked up the oil, so that when I took my circular saw with a special metal cutting blade. When I cut it in half from the side, sparks wouldn't go in there and hit and become flammable, because this was in the basement. Okay. So when I was doing this, before I did it, I had told her in passing. I said, you might hear a little noise this evening. It won't be too late, but I'll be cutting the oil tank because we're going to get gas heat. She was mad. Who they think they are getting gas heat? She was telling other people. It came back to me. And I'm like, if you make improvements where you live, so what the heck? It's better. You always have availability of heat. When the gas tank ran out, you better call the gas company, the gas truck. They might be backed up. Back in the day in New York City, when most of the people had oil way, way, way back, that oil truck was moving. It's like, well, we might be there in 3 hours, and you sitting up to everything ran out, but you shouldn't wait for it to run out anyway. Now, this is what happened. All of a sudden, you know, that's New York City. You hear noises 24/7. Ambulances, people fighting, cars speeding down the block, cops. But all of a sudden, we heard fire trucks getting louder. And it seemed like one of them from the inside, like the air brake came on. I said, wait a second. Let me look out here and see what's going on. I see one of the firemen walking up to my house, opened up the gate, came and rang the bell. I was in the basement, so I called to him from the side door. I said, I'm over here. He says, sir, do you, someone called about a fire? I said, no, there's no fire here. And they said it was this address. I said, listen, you can come on in and look. There's nothing going on here. Only thing I'm doing is cutting this, you know, it's thick metal, the oil tank, right? I said, I'm cutting this oil tank because we're switching over to gas heat in the next few days. Okay, just do your thing safe, no problem. They left. 15 minutes later, I said, wait a second. It can't be again. It was somebody else, but it was from the same, you know, station. And they said, is this the place that got the call? I said, yeah, same story. So he came in and looked. He said, listen, somebody's playing games. I said, I know exactly who it is. I walked to the side of the house. I said, Zelda, I hope you're having fun. But it happened 3 more times that night, not right away. But this is the kind of evil that some of these elders can do. What was the point? Now, if her fat behind was getting burned up in a fire and she called to save her, she might have get burnt up. That's how karma works. Unbelievable. And just the things that she was saying. Oh, early on when she was friendly with me, she told me, yeah, Muhammad Ali slept with me. I'm like, man, that man was sleeping with so many women. Is that the high point of your life? Huh? And she had the greatest dick of all times, That's your high point. I had somebody else tell me, oh, I used to date Mike Tyson. In that time period, in the top 5 that he was messing with were famous. Listen, he hit you off one night and you trying to pretty it up. And again, this is not an attack on black women. That's just these old elders in our family that are evil, and the ones in the church. See, what I find with men, like on younger folks, on younger guys, there may be a little bit of envy and stuff like that to a point, but they don't execute it the same way. Now, you do have some, but it seems like these older women in the church or older women in your family, a lot of them don't have to be this way, but you always have that one that has no reason to dislike you. And the older you get and the more you develop physically, don't have that little waist and them titties and that ass, a pang, pang. Don't have it like that. And they looking at you and they despise you for that. We all have our time. I see bodybuilders in America when I was there. I see bodybuilders out here. Do you think I get mad at them because my body don't look like that no more? I had my time when I turned heads walking down the street. I enjoyed it to a point, but it wasn't necessary or mandatory. That's not why I did what I did, but it was nice. It was cool. I'm on a whole different level now. I see my mortality. See, when I was 20 years ain't mean nothing. I'll be 40, I'll still be young. But at 60, 20 years, I'll be 80. I better keep myself young. You see what I mean? So it's more important, more of a sense of urgency to do what's right when you understand the passage of this artificial thing, man-made thing called time. You see what I mean? Don't be stuck in some old phase that you didn't get enough of, or you were repressed. It's time to cut the games. If you're one of these jealous elders or jealous church elders, realize where your blip is on the radar screen. You don't want to live your life all the way caught up with these old idiosyncrasies. You're limiting yourself on how wide and beautiful and powerful life can be in the experience of life. I'm really enjoying myself at this age. I thought I was enjoying myself when I was 20 years old. It was a different kind of enjoyment, but my scope wasn't as wide as it is now. So therefore, the things that I indulged in would not bring me joy. My scope is so wide at 100%. The 100% that it is now. 5 years from now, it'll be 100%, but it'll be a different 100%. So the 100% of 20 years old of a scope that I had, and that was pretty deep, even though I indulged in a lot of crazy things. If I took what filled my scope at 20 and overlaid it on my scope and view and perspectives at 60, it wouldn't cover much. And I wouldn't be enjoying myself the way I thought I was back then when I had a narrower scope. And you're right, Naima. Yes. And Queen Common Sense, yes. I grew up with many of these elder women, bitter, hateful, and very toxic. Bitter, hateful, and very toxic. And like Naima said, all of a sudden, they become concerned about your soul and warn you not to sin. They want to enjoy in some sin a little bit. They didn't get enough taste of the sweet sin. See, this is the thing that they never want to admit, right? You go to the store, you get yourself some orange juice out the carton or freshly squeezed. It's good for you. I mean, the freshly squeezed. And you drink it, and it's sweet. But you get that orange drink with all the sugar in it. It ain't no good for you, but it tastes good because it's sweet. And you drinking it like, damn, this thing is so full of sugar. This is not good for me, but I'm damn sure enjoying this cold orange drink, the counterfeit. But the real freshly squeezed juice with a little ginger in there and a little bit of this, a little bit of that, some good old health food store type stuff or something you could make at home. It's good for you, but it's not that sinful rush. And this is what people don't understand and why people keep relapsing into what they did. There is a sweetness to sin. See, the sexual indiscretions, when your mind ain't right and don't understand, it's a sweet thing sneaking it, doing something forbidden until you realize it's junk food for the soul and you get older and you're like, man, I can't believe I did that. But some of these church elders and jealous elders, they putting up a front, but they know the sweetness of those activities, which you should not be, and you should be into the wholesome thing, which you can get freaky with the one you with. You can still get it, but in a more wholesome way. But they ain't done with that sneaky shit. You see what I mean? I knew a young lady back in the day. She was in the church, heavy, but she always requested to be in my company. And we don't have to guess why. And her thing was, she always loved to pull up in the church parking lot. It's always open. And get out when it's dark in the parking lot and do things next to the car. Bent over, whatever. Yeah. Oh, I want to go to that other church. You go to some guy is cleaning up. Oh, we can't go here now. Let's go over to this other one. It's like, why has it got to be the church parking lot? But I kind of knew though. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, the Freemasons. The ones who are talking about helping out our people. The ones who are always the first one in when you have a independent revolutionary come along and they want to see what he's about, or maybe try to recruit him. And when they see that you can see through their game, of course they're going to come at you collectively and try to choke you out. I don't mean putting their hands around your neck, but choke you out of any gain, any networking, anything. They will isolate you. I know that personally. You got them out here in the motherland. They're all over the place. And they fall into that category. Because when you do something independent of them and you don't need them, if you like a groupie running up behind them trying to please them and join up with them and thinking that they're the answer, no, you didn't create me. You didn't give me my spirit of creativity. You didn't give me my gifts and my talents and abilities. So how dare you think you can take ownership over that and try to corral me into your wicked cause? No, I'll stay independent. I'll stay small for the rest of my life if I have to be. Because I'm not trying to get popular in this man-made system. I try to get it with people that when you find out at the end of the day, you know, like I'll say it in the coded way, you know, when you go out there and it's hot and it's a certain amount of degrees outside. And the higher the degrees get outside, the hotter it gets until you feel like you in hell. Check that out. I don't want to be bothered. Let me just see what Queen Common Sense says here. How are you doing, sister? Haven't seen you in a while. Yes, the AME church, some of the elders I saw every Sunday were the most bitter, nasty people and always spoke ill over the young girls who had naturally good looks, projecting the slut shaming. Yeah, man. Yeah. If their breast size grew 2 cups over the wintertime, they start getting in on them like they doing something. Meanwhile, the pastor or one of them deacons or one of them dudes in the church are eyeballing them for them things and they ain't trying to protect the girl. You trying to shame her. Because your titties are hanging down looking eye to eye with your knees. We all get older. I don't understand it. Is it just insecurity? Is it true hate? Is it that they didn't realize time would move by fast? Time is moving fast on now. Not because, and I understand I'm older now, so my perception of time will seem to go faster. I understand that part. That's why I'm getting it in every day. But overall, the ebb and flow of time seems to be going a lot faster as we move into the future. And I know that there's many people who understand that this is not really 2023. This is when I understand that. But something is tampered with and we're moving into something further than what we realize. But that's something you have to feel. That's nothing that you can just say, well, I put my time clock here and you know what I mean? I put 2 time clocks together, one here and one on the other side of town, and time moved faster on this side of town. I don't mean it that way. It's like the water in the ocean. You can be part on the edge or just in the water on the beach and it's moving around a lot. You can go way out in the ocean and it's still. Same body of water, but it's acting different in different physical places. And that's the same thing here. For something about the whole spiritual existence on this plane of existence, it's more wicked. You know, when you make lemonade, you don't have to always measure the sugar to the lemon juice, whatever. You just put the sugar in there with the water, mix it up, drop a little lemon juice. Oh, it needs a little more sugar. Boom. Oh, it needs a little more lime juice until it's there right to the taste. Almost perfect every time. So we can't measure by what we see with our naked eye, but there's more wickedness going on the planet. We know this. Whichever the reason, we know there's more wickedness going on in this world. And just like I spoke to someone earlier, it seems like the love has been sucked out completely. And love, like oxygen, if you don't have enough oxygen, you're going to choke. You're going to be breathing harder to get more in. And our souls are less satisfied now in our daily routine. Anybody who's old enough to remember the 70s, we had heroin addicts. We had the people coming back from the war, you know, with high gas prices and crooked politicians the same way. But between us as a people, we had more love oxygen. We still made it through. We still laughed. We still had fun. There were less of these church entities in our midst. The older people were joyous. Now the older people want to get down like the younger people, and they mad that they can't do it. There's a lot of old church ladies out here that's on Facebook and on other kind of apps looking to catch some dick. Yes, living double lives. I can tell you about that. There's some of them I know that are deceased now, but they are on that level. If you have somebody in your life and you're committed to them, you should be able to do anything you want when you are older. But they want that good old promiscuous stuff. They watching Instagram too, and they'll tell you, oh, these girls are so disgusting, and they'll tell you, I wish that was me. They'll say that to themselves. Oh, why did I forget and put this computer back on? Let me deal with this later on. I did a short rooftop earlier. Wasn't long at all, but I was going to render it. I'll put it up later on. But yeah, I'm going to continue talking, but I know that there's so many people out here that may want to say something. So let me drop the link in the chat so you can click that and come on in if you have something to say. And I'll just continue on, but just pop in there when you want, if you want, you know, because this thing is just so vast, and how they get up in your business and make it a point. They'll tag team you too. You have 2 or 3 church ladies watching you. One that you know is watching you, and 2 other ones that are playing good cop, bad cop. And you talk to them and they bring the information back. But the thing is, the dangerous part is those who are in the church and those who are in the family, they will try to cast their spells of failure over your life. They'll act like they're helping you one way, but in other ways, they're sabotaging you big time. So they do nice deeds for you sometimes. Nothing too big, but enough to make you think that they're in your corner. And at the end of the day, they're only doing that to get close to you, to sabotage you. Whether it's on a purely witchery level or just wishing bad to you. But a lot of them, it's a witchery thing. Don't worry, baby. I'll do your hair for you before you go out to that party. Because they're trying to get strands of hair to take back with them and put it up on the altar that you don't know about. And it's not some holy altar that they have up in their house. There's people's houses that I've gone into, and they weren't right within themselves. And when I saw what they had in their house, I'm like, oh, okay. That's what it is. Now, again, that's a funny topic that you can split down the line, because some people are on and some people are way off. And most of the people who are into things, they're way off, especially when there's evil intent behind what they do. You know, let me see here. Abigail, Rochelle, some of you are too damn old to be getting jealous. That's what young children do. And many of them gain confidence and grew out of it faster than you grown folks. Exactly. Exactly. Now, again, it's not just ladies. I was running out of time and I wanted to make a more creative banner, but I made this one. There's a lot of the men too. Their little things ain't working like it used to. And when they were younger, their whole idea, you got it no more, and Viagra don't work. What you gonna do? Who are you now? When all you did was identify with that aspect of your life. Now you realize you got no wisdom to share. You don't realize that you are supposed to be in a different role right now, right? If you have your wife or you have somebody and you think you ain't half work, you do what you got to do. There ain't no pressure to be some Superman. But there's always the next set of young girls coming off the assembly line at 18 years old who are still too young for you to be coming after. And you can't help yourself. Sure, you'll see a young lady and say, wow, she's really attractive. You know, and you might think to yourself, back in the day, that might be somebody I go after. But that's all it is. It's not for you. You need to stop that. Playing that game with your old ass. If you're going to play a game and you old, pick one of these old church frustrated, dick-needing bitter chicks. Maybe they'll crack a smile when they come to church, because some of these ladies don't crack a smile for nothing. Only in front of the pastor. Oh, yeah. Satan is all up in the church. Shoot, that's the majority of what's there. You're right, mixed genre phase. Priests sexually molesting little boys are in the church. Yes. Not just the Dalai Lama wanting to kiss somebody. Put your tongue in my mouth. What kind of mess is that? Put your tongue in my mouth? See, I don't know about that little boy, but my father gave me permission. He say something like that, he gonna get a right cross right in the face. I know right where to place it. Right. Make the jaw snap. He wouldn't expect it. Last thing you thinking about is somebody's tongue in your mouth. A little boy publicly. Look, what gave him the confidence to say that publicly? He was so relaxed that he could say that publicly. Even if there was no recording going on, how you gonna say something like that to a young boy? So what you think people gonna know that they know what you are? Nobody's talking about it no more because he's the Dalai Lama. You know, white folks love him. Yeah, sneaking deacons. Sneaking damn deacons. Dirty, exactly. And they position themselves in the church because, see, they can get to know your business more. They can get to know what's going on in your household. And so not even the pastor, but you as some deacon. You got a church sister there who got a young daughter who's sexually active and looking nice, and she might even be in her 20s and legal, but that's still something wrong with that, man. You damn near 60. You trying to get with this girl in her early 20s. What y'all gonna talk about? What could it be? But you finding out from her mama how she's sneaking out and messing with these older guys. Oh, damn, she messed with. Yeah, she seems like older guys will give her money. And so, I went outside and they was in the car talking. I didn't see her. And her head was in his lap. So now it's the deacon of the church. He needs to go and, counsel them. Yeah, he gonna counsel them all right. He gonna drop some hidden a language in the counseling so that young girl knows she can get a little money from him too. I told you at the deacon that in the church that me and Mrs. SCURV got married in, he would go into the church. He had keys and go to this little office they had near, open up the computer and watch porn and manipulate himself with the jar of Vaseline. True story. I don't care if they don't like it. I'm telling it because a lot of them listen too. They'll go run with that. Because I'm tired of these people and their hypocrisy and how they're envious on people and want to mess up people's lives. You're damn devils. You're evil. You're no good. You've outlived any usefulness that the Creator may have had for you. A big blockage, a big deterrent. You have no use in the righteous world, and you won't go to any righteous level when you're living like this. Jealous. Because no man wants you in that form. Maybe if you acted nicer and weren't so jealous, you'd catch some old man with a good dick. But you're so much like a pig up in everybody else's business. And again, it's not just the women. Men could be that way too. I got several men all up in my business. Throw me under the bus and all up in my business. They're probably on the show watching now. To hell with you. You can kiss my ass, and if you try to, I'll knock you out because I don't deal with men like that. What is this spirit of envy when you should turn your energies around to work on yourself, to give yourself the best life possible, the best experience possible, to bring light into other people's lives by manifesting these good seeds of greatness inside of you. But you gave up on that. That's why your life is hollow. That's why your mind is shallow. That's why you got nothing going on for you. So even if you're old and your house is paid for, you got a little car that's paid for, you're not enjoying it. I don't have $1 million right now, but you can't tell me that I'm not enjoying my life right now. I'm enjoying myself. I love coming up in here with y'all every night. I love seeing the fellowship here every night, every day. When I leave this earth, I want to have such a platform of loving people who are concerned, who are speaking the truth, that it goes on beyond me. These people want death for you because they don't want nothing to go on without them. And they mad because you're going to outlast them. But they should be content that they got this old or at this chronological age. It's only old when you're evil. And they don't realize that. And they see your light and they want to crush it, casting their spells. That's what they do. And when you succeed anyway, you will go in their presence and they'll refuse to talk to you because they know how much spells they casted on you and it didn't work. That's why I tell all these people out here who have come out here and do animal sacrifices against me for what? Because you envious of my light? Focus on your light. But your light is different than mine. Mine is like the sun and yours is like an old flashlight with batteries that are about to die. You out of here soon. So many people come like these angels of light and they evil as hell. But they're hating on the one who's humble and just doing their thing and want to snuff that out because you ain't the real thing. You never will be the real thing because it's based in the wrong thing. And that's what they don't understand. What a death do they have? See, the good people transition, the evil people die. Good people transition, the ones who are trying to better themselves, the ones who are trying to ascend on a certain level. And those who live like this, like maggots, like rodents, like flies, like mosquitoes, you die. Your time is up. Inhale and exhale as much as you can and enjoy the air and see the next sunrise because it's coming to an end soon. And those that you had a chance to experience, you didn't enjoy it. I'm looking forward to a nice, good, restful, deep sleep. I look forward to waking up and see that the sky is getting brighter and we have a new day to do something new and do something positive. I get off on that. I enjoy that. I didn't know this time last night we would be talking about this. It came to me and I put the thing together and we're here vibing and I'm enjoying myself. I'm not worried about 10 years from now, 20 years from now. I'm doing what I have to do right now. And these people have nothing to damn do. Church is their social life. And you can't even call that a social life. And I want to hear from some of these people who don't like what I have to say on this subject. Oh, you're blaspheming God. Well, these little demons ain't God. They feel you got to go through them as some kind of hierarchy that you have to try to aspire to be like them. Look at this. Okay, again, these women, I don't know them on the banner. They're representing what I'm talking about. They could be the sweetest people in the world. I don't know. So if anybody knows any one of these women personally, I am not coming against them. They're just merely an image. So we're playing pretend with that. But these say they did represent that evil individual. Do you want to be like that? Do you want to be around them? I know some evil ones that have turned things around on me in seeing my progress in certain areas of life, and they couldn't take it no more. So they had to fabricate some type of conflict because they didn't want to be around. Oh, your life is getting too good. And it wasn't necessarily that. I had the stick-to-itiveness to overcome the things that were thrown at me. There are a lot who have spoken their spells of death and failure into my life, and I'm still here, damn it. I was telling a friend of mine how 10 years ago, 11 years ago online, I had my phone was ringing, y'all. I do a show, all kind of entities would be there for their own purposes. People fighting each other and cussing each other and ego. And I'm like, wait a second. It's not even me involved in this stuff. So I had to cut the Facebook group room that I had, which was where they were festering up, arguing all day. They come to me, Lance, man, he said this, you need to cut him. I said, listen, I got to focus on what I'm doing here. Where are they now? So many of them spoke, oh, he'll never do this. Oh, he'll never get another house. He'll never get a mortgage. Well, now I'm building a house where I don't have a mortgage. That's not bragging, but look, if I believe what you told me, I'd be sitting somewhere rubbing two nickels together, feeling bad. Oh, I could have did this and I can't do this. When you tell me I can't do something, if I want to do it, I'm going to do it. But it's got to be where I want to do it. It's not like you're going to control me and start making stuff up. If I have a goal and a mission for that day, there's no damn church demon, Family demon, which I never had to really deal with those. Because I had a small immediate family. My brother was on drugs, but he wasn't a demon to me personally. It motivated me to not do certain things. But them kind of people, and I don't like to see it around me, even if it's not aimed at me. Because I'm going to deal with them. I probably won't even tell you, but I'm going to tell them what I see in them. And if you don't straighten up, I'm going to tell my friend. Because I see it. That's why I can't be around too many people. There's more of that than the good people in the world at this particular point in time, because so much evil has been poured into the world. But they will seriously try to cast their spells of failure over your life. You going to school and trying to do something good for yourself, and they sitting there hoping you don't graduate. You going to the gym and you watching what you're eating, they hope you don't lose that weight. You come over their house, and they knew you were coming over. They got this big ass cake waiting for you. Oh, I baked your favorite. Well, you know, Grandma, I'm going to the gym these days. I'm not trying to eat. Oh, just take a little piece. It ain't going to hurt. You want to take some home? You see what I mean? Little things. Distractions. You trying to do good by your woman as a man. And here comes all this porn in your phone. What you trying to do? Keep me in trapped in a certain sphere where I can't make it up out of here? I'm beyond the flesh. I mean, I have fleshly desires now, but it's ascended. It's not as important to me now. It's not as important. Those things are supposed to fall off you. That shows you that you have taken flight in your spiritual journey. The wheels don't stay down in the plane when you get on the plane that takes flight. After a while, they put the wheels away. You hear it. You're still ascending. That's when you know. So what happened to those wheels of lust that you have? They still out there because you want to land in it. The wheels of materialism. Here you are in your 60s and your 70s, jealous of the person who bought a car, and they bought a used car, but it was newer than yours, so now you mad. So you better be mad because that old hearse that takes your body might be older than anything you had. But you gonna be jealous as a dead body? I'm not into the materialism. With my equipment here, I want to have it keep on working. I'm not driving right now. I don't have a need for it. It takes a little longer to get around, but I don't need the stress right now. We're building, yes, and we're enjoying the process. And things are not as lofty as they could be. Sometimes you got to go squeeze through some tight times. When you have the good thing in your heart to do, you will be all right. And sometimes when you have negative thoughts in your mind and it bothers you, don't think it's you thinking this up. It's other people oftentimes putting these thoughts in your head through conversation in a very subtle way. And even if they're dealing in the occult, that too, that is very real. And they evil asses back it up because that's what they're all about. But you ain't gonna whip me. You take your occult shit and shove it up your backside. I'm telling you. And I'm speaking to some people who I know creep up in these shows and listen because they envious because their ass ain't here no more. Spirit of division and wanting to control and turn things around and all of that stuff. Just in normal life, past, present, future. There are people out here who are clocking me even though they don't see me at all. I know you're there. To hell with you. And I'm at a point in my life right now, I don't grin and bear with any of these demons face to face. Hi, demon. How you doing? I'll tell them that. Look, I'm at a point, I'm at the old man, I don't care point. The old man, like we said yesterday, the old uncle that goes to the cookout and don't care. Hey, boy, you ain't sucking dick no more? Good. Try to be straight, man. Everybody's like, oh, my God. They all know, but he bringing it out. Right now, there's no filter on my mouth. I don't care. I'm going to call it out when I see it. So stay away if you got that stuff in you, or deal with me. Because see, when you grin and bear it, it gives them power because you're trying to be decent and they know what they are there to do and you're allowing it because you don't want to be rude. To hell being rude. I don't even care if the people around me don't even understand why I'm saying the way or acting the way I act. If I see it, I'm calling it out. Everybody else, you can't do that. Yes, I can, because they're here to bring hell in my life. It's open season. And these are the same people who will leech from you, suck you down, and hate you at the same time. You help them out in some way, they turn around and hate on you. Like, what the hell? You know, and you're not looking for any accolades or anything like that, but you turn around and help people in certain ways, and they turn around and be your biggest enemy? And I have to say, it's a lot of us black folks. You know, white folks, they enemies too sometimes, but when it comes time to unifying on something, look, when it comes time for them white folks who might be not friends anymore, and they see one of us coming up, they're going to unite. Bill, we can't have that nigger Lance get good on social media. We have to get his YouTube channel down. We have to shut him down. Well, I haven't talked to you in 20 years and I can't stand your ass, but you know what? I'll unite with you for this cause. They do. They do. We'll be standoffish with others and not do something for the greater good just because we don't like one little aspect of their life. Now, again, I say, when you know that they're a demonic stone, you're not going to build your house with that stone inside your house. Do not deal with them. And they'll come to the world. Yes, I believe that black people should be unified. We must come together and live as one. Not with no damn demon. I don't care, again, if nobody knows that you won. You know I know you won, what your intentions are. I'm going to call you out and thrash you. If you get physically close to me and you come in my space, I'm going to hurt you physically. I'm saying this as on record. You have a right to live the way you need to live. You have a right. You give up no right over no damn demon who ain't doing nothing good. Reducing your light for this damn demon who ain't got no light. On sight, they don't like you because of your light. See, that's how it is too. And we don't want to admit that. Sometimes we meet people and on the spot, we know they're rotten. You downloaded their energy. You locked eyes with them. That's why with people, I see them coming and I see what's it. I'm not locking eyes with you. Oh, I think he's scared of me. No, you damn evil. I don't want none of that stuff in me. I'm not downloading that. That's like me going to some gay app and downloading a gay app. Why am I going to download a gay app when I'm not gay? I don't want that stuff on me. I don't want that stuff on my phone. I don't want to look at that stuff. It's the truth. It is what it is. Anybody want to come in? I know we'll probably have a lit up conference line tonight. You know? Sister Ellie. Come on in. I'll let you in. Okay. All right, I'm seeing you. Let me remove the banner, and I will say that I planned on doing a conference line with you, but the time flew, you know, and we're going to do a show early, but you're here now. So let me just open this up. What did I just do? Hold on. You been listening?
Yes. Yes.
Oh. All right. Hold on one second. I'm sitting here getting retarded with these controls. All right. There she is. Let me put you center screen. Talk to us. How are you feeling?
Oh, I'm not doing good, but I'm thankful for this channel, you know, this platform. I'm so thankful. You know, it helps me. It nourishes me. Yeah. So
I'm glad you're here. We talked earlier, and like I said, the time ran up so fast. I was like, wait a second, it's getting late. Let me tell you something. I didn't even realize it was Friday because I stayed up all night and I'm thinking like this was Thursday. And I asked Mr. SCURV, I said, what time are you going up on the property tomorrow? Because she goes Monday to Friday. She says, I'm not going tomorrow. Tomorrow's Saturday. I said, today's Friday? I said, oh, man. So I set the show up. And then I said to myself, I said, okay, we'll do something after or whatever, because there's so much involved in doing these kind of things. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you understand. And you're so far away that it's daylight over there right now. So like right now it's 11:33, and where you are should be about what, like 4:33?
Yeah.
Yeah, 4:33. I'm getting better. I'm not jacking up the time zones. But yeah, I wanted to speak earlier and kind of echo, since you're here now, about how life is, and how, like what we spoke about, how it seems like the love is sucked out of the air. Like we don't feel the love anymore like we used to feel in the atmosphere. And with you being around predominantly pink parasites, you're not receiving none of it.
Oh no, I never have. I've never felt the love in the air. I don't know what you're talking about. I've never, I mean, I guess as a child, I felt a little bit from my family or whatever, but no, you get to a point where, where you just, you don't feel it. And especially when, since I've been woke, and,
Right.
when waking up in this racist white town, there's nothing but hatred and jealousy.
Yeah.
They despise me. I mean, oh, it's insane. It's insane. I don't know how I've lasted this long. Don't ask me.
Well, everybody's talking about your lovely smile.
Oh, thanks, guys. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know how I was able to preserve my looks, because I've been a lifelong drug addict. I started when I was 12, and the sexual trauma started when I was 4. Well, I could say trauma started when I was probably, as an infant,
Right.
my mom, she and she would tell the story like with glee, like, she talked about how she picked me up and shook me.
Oh,
Just,
no.
I guess, she's possessed, obviously. And so trauma started from a young age. So, yeah, I don't know how I have this smile or anything. I don't know. Maybe I'm a superhuman, because some people, they go through a little bit in life. They stub their toe and want to kill themselves.
Right.
I've been through, just all kind of crazy stuff. So thank you guys. I don't even take care of myself that well, because, it's hard to have the energy to do that when you have, no friends or family. It's
But
hard.
you know what I told you? Just the way when I moved to different places that I lived in, I had friends that I haven't known yet. And so everybody here is showing you love, and you may not have physically met them, but they're there. Just because the clouds are over your life sometimes doesn't mean the sun stops shining. The sun has rays for you that are just for you, that are just going to touch you. That even on the cloudiest day, you got to know that. And you're preserved for a reason. You're preserved because you're going to use your story to help so many people. You may say that you're a lifelong drug addict, but you may admit that that's part of your walk, but you are not that. That's the only thing I disagree when we have these rehab situations and say, well, you're going to be a lifelong listener. No, you've experienced that. That is what you have run to in times of stress and times of need, where you feel the void. I understand. You know what I mean? So look, I shared some things with you. You know what I mean? I may not have been the person to do a drug or something like that, but women were my drug. And that was dangerous back then. All kind of soul ties that you don't want and all kind of stuff. We all go through stuff. Like I said, the man-made engineered world is like a big garbage can. It stinks. The natural world of the creator is the beautiful thing. So I'm looking at you right now, and I see your spirit, and there's nothing stinking about you. That even though you may have been in the garbage can, you coming out like you got nothing but perfume on you. Because I see the future. Yeah, there's no way. If you were one of them cracker white women in that same town, been through them, and I know your story very well, and you can feel free to tell as much as you want if you want to. You don't have to if you want to. You can go on any level here. You can just observe. We can do a show and talk about everything because it's healing other people. But the bottom line is, look, find the so-called finest white woman in your town and sit her next to you, and you blow her away.
Thank you.
You blow her away. because there's something on the inside preserving you.
And thanks. Thank
What
you.
makes someone in your town look better than you? That's why they're mad.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Like,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm walking into a room and, like the look on this white girl's face, she just looked just evil, just mean. She looked at me like I was, I don't know, just the look. I mean, and I don't even know if she knew what she was doing. She looked at me like I was just like she hated me. It blew me away when you're woke and you can read people, you can see their energy. Like it blew me away. I was like, whoa, she hates me. She does not like me. But she was smiling and, oh hi, how are you? But it was like, oh, I see you, you know. Yeah, they hate me around here. They absolutely hate me. And that's okay. That's okay because I'm able to take negative energy and transmute it to positive energy and use
Yes.
it. Yeah, use it for my good. So,
Master Glam, join you. I was going to just say for the other folks to come on in and talk to Sister Ellie. Master Glam, how you doing? And Sister Ellie, we're here. Open up your mic and just chat with us and talk to Sister Ellie.
Yes, that's why I actually called in. I want her to finish telling her story, but seeing her cry, it just really touched me, and so that's why I wanted to call. I know that all of us have our traumas. And sometimes it's really hard to see past those things, and we just don't understand why we had to go through these things. Why did it have to be me? Why did it have to be you? And we look at these things, and it's just hard to get over because it molds us and shapes us into the person that we are. But I just wanted to say to you, Sister Ellie, and to anyone who is experiencing hurt and suffering, that you are worthy. The things that happened to you in the past, the things that people did to you, it does not make you any less than. You are not less than. You are beautiful. You are strong. Everything that you went through and that you endured, it says so. It says that you have strength. So we have to dig deep within, and I know it's a hard thing to believe, that you can be worthy, or that that there's sometimes anything to live for, or etc. But you are worthy. There is a reason why you are here, even though you haven't found that reason yet. There is a reason. We are all here. Just because I come on here and I talk to you guys, and I uplift you guys, or I say certain things that might inspire you, it doesn't mean that I don't go through things. I go through a lot. Sometimes I cry throughout the week when I'm here with my children because I'm doing everything by myself. But I don't tell people that. I'm the type of person, I go into the garage and I cry. I cry alone. And sometimes my brother might overhear me and talk to me later, but I never really always show that I'm this emotional person. And digging into astrology, I'm a Capricorn. And so a lot of people feel like Capricorns have that cold energy, but no, it's that a lot of Capricorn people, or people who have Saturn energy, they're all about discipline, and they're all about their status and how they look. So, excuse me. So it's kind of like a front. We don't want to look a certain type of way. And then we have some of us who are hurting, and we don't want to bleed on other people. So these are the things that we're dealing with. But it doesn't mean that the people next to you aren't going through things. Just like that girl who was looking at you in an evil way. She probably has her own things that's going on with her, that's making her be an evil person. I was walking in this plaza with my daughter, pushing her down the cart in her little chair one time, and then this black girl was sitting there, and like she looked at me, and like she literally had this look of disgust when she was looking at me and my daughter. And I was like, I was like, what? I didn't even say anything to her when I passed her. But when I came back, I saw her again. And I'm the type of person, I have a slick mouth. So when I passed by her, I was like, excuse me, Satan. Excuse me, Satan. And she didn't say anything. She didn't say anything because a lot of these people are weak. The people who hurt you, the people who are trying to steal your energy and just do all these things, trying to break you down, they are weak. They are hurt. And you can't give them your power. It's time for us to heal. It's time for us to heal. And it takes time. You might have to cry. You might cry while you're healing. It doesn't mean that you're less than or that you're not healing. But I just wanted to say that you are worthy. Don't let what you have experienced break you down to the point that you don't want to be here, or you don't think highly of yourself. You're a beautiful sister. Look at you. You have beautiful eyes, beautiful lips. You're beautiful. A lot of us, I've talked to other women who are in the chat now, and I tell them that they're beautiful. And sometimes they may not believe it, but the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, like they say. Just because someone says that I'm ugly doesn't mean that I'm ugly. Someone else might think I'm beautiful. I'm their cup of tea. But don't let people disrespect you. Don't let people hurt you. Don't hold on to that hurt, because you're bringing yourself down. When every day we have to get up and we have to cry because of what other people did to us. No, after you cry, you lift yourself up. Don't speak negatively about yourself. You speak life into you. You speak power into your spirit, because you are worthy.
Okay.
Excellent.
Okay, thank you.
Peace,
thank you very much.
On the panel. Can I be heard?
Yes. Come closer to the phone or the mic. It's a little
okay. I'm in a hollow room too. Is that better?
Oh, that's much better.
All right. How's everybody doing? First of all, peace and love.
Oh, peace and love. We're all good. You know the flow here.
All right. Sister Ellie, you are so beautiful. You touch my heart because we share similar pain. But I just wanted to speak a little life into you as well with this world of facetious, ugly nastiness. What James Baldwin said, to be a Black person in this country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a state of rage almost daily. So I applaud you, love, because your smile is so genuine. You're chosen. You're chosen. Let those tears fall because they're liquid prayer. God understands. Let them fall. Don't be ashamed of it. You're not toxic. Let it out. Release it. I can't tell you how we're tuned into you right now. You're an empath. You're an empath. A lot of times we absorb so much and it gets so overwhelming because we are self-healers. We're self-healers. Look at you. Look how far you've made it. Look at you. You're still standing 10 toes down.
It's kind of, because I have to, because I don't have the courage to kill myself because, like Sam said, I don't know what's out there beyond the sky. I don't have a choice but to live and be alive. I don't, I just try to just make it every day. I have a lot of.
You're here for a purpose, baby love. You're here for a purpose. Put your hand over your heart for me. Put your hand over your heart. That's your purpose. That's your purpose. As long as you can feel that, be thankful for the pain because you have a soul. There's a lot of people walking around that don't have a soul. They don't.
I've met every one of them. They live in Wenatchee, Washington, and they're all white. I live in a predominantly white and Mexican town. Like, I never see Black people. I've never been around Black people. I think there was a couple times in the 38 years that I've wandered this desert, that I was in a store and there was like 2 other Black people, and it was like, whoa, I have never been around my own kind. So I'm so thankful for this channel because I can come here and, I feel like I have
And
family.
I want to share this giggle with you. I become a Karenologist too. We called them Becky's from my era. I'm telling my age. We called them Becky's.
Yeah.
And they come from the other side of the tracks, from their gated communities. And then they get their black scent when they get around us. Or if they outnumber us, then of course they're seething and they're slithery, and you can feel the envy and the desire just to emulate. Come on now, let's keep it 100. Let's keep it above. What other culture do they vulture more than Black women and Black men? Hate is just misguided admiration. That's all. Hate is just misguided love. You know that song Neo, I Hate That I Love You So, with Rihanna? Every time I run into a Becky, that's what I sing in my head.
Wow.
You hate that you love me so much. You can't. You try to get the kinky hair. You want to get my locks down to my waist. You want to emulate everything I do, my lips, my hips, everything. Yeah. You even think that if you have sex and have half-breeded little babies, that you can step to me crazy and talk to me crazy.
Wow.
You did? Just remember Neo and Rihanna. You hate that you love me. They stay mad. They were born mad. They're bred and raised and programmed to stand in the shoes of pity, victimhood. Don't let that evil encompass your heart. You have such a beautiful heart. And I just want to encourage you to tap in deeper to that gift of empathy, because it can touch and help so many people. Because spiritualists like me, we get beat up real bad. That's why I stay low key. Lance will tell you, he'd be like, come up here. I'm like, no. Because you're light. You don't have to do anything, honey. You just show up and you light up the room. You have that it factor that so many of us sisters and brothers have. That's why they coming for us so hard.
Yeah.
Breonna Taylor, George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery. What did they do? I could go on and on and on. What did they do? That's what I asked Becky. I'm like, what did I do while you mad? What did I do to you, Becky? What's the matter? You need a hug? I'm not your husband. I'm not here to absorb your mental illness.
Yeah.
I'm not a customer to your process. I don't have to acknowledge you. I don't have to respect you, and you're not gonna step to me crazy. You gotta be the warrior that you were designed to be. And so what? You got a past. Who don't have a past? Who's not ashamed of things that they done in the past? We all have to grow. That's how we learn. If we were all the same, we wouldn't learn anything. We'd be like Stepford children, just walking around, put a battery in your back, wind it up, keep going, like a Zumba, like a Roomba, whatever that vacuum cleaner is. You're put here for a purpose. And sometimes it's just to wake up other people and tell them, back up off me.
Well, when you're in an all-white town, that's racist, they have an annual, little festival, little 2-week little festival here, and, parade and all that. And back in the 70s, the KKK used to march in the parade. So if that gives you an idea of where I'm at, and there's also a KKK compound a few miles away here. And
I'm where they grow the KKK. Like Confederate flags grow out the ground here in Jacksonville, North Carolina. So, honey, I could tell my story, but I'd be up here all night. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's hard to stand up for yourself when no one, I try to speak out, against what people are doing to me. I'll be in a room full of people and no one will stick up for me. Someone will be abusing me, and it's hard, because then I look like the bad person. Oh God, she's angry, angry Black woman. They'll do things to antagonize me. And, but yeah, it's hard to be a warrior. They beat me down. I don't have any backup. I have no one to help me. No one cares. And that's hard. That's really hard,
It really is, because I'm standing in those shoes right now, love. But here's what you do. Your ancestors are there for a reason. Okay? You have to tap into whatever it is. For me, it's my grandmother. My grandmother helped me polish me to be the woman that I'm growing into now. My mother and father were there, but they were emotionally detached. You know, back in that day in the 70s, it was it's them against us, the parents against the children. No matter right or wrong, abusive or not, you're to be seen and not heard. That's a very small box to live in, right?
Yeah.
If you tap into that and flip it around and make your pain your power, tap into those ancestors, whoever it was that gave you that soft place to fall, that's who you call on. Grace and mercy is always right.
I never had that. You know, my so-called family, they allowed me to be abused. They're just terrible. They're just terrible. They're not right. They turn a blind eye to abuse. And so I don't have ancestors. I mean, I guess I have had pregnancies, so I call on my babies that are in heaven, you know, but other than that, I don't have any, because I no longer, of course, believe in, white God. I don't believe in any God. I don't believe in anything. It's just me. That's because that's all I've ever had. But, I'm just trying to, get out of this town and, move to a place where there's Black people. Not that that's a guarantee, because Black people, I'm sure, could hurt me too, but at least I'll be around people that look like me. I've never been around Black people. Like, it would just trip me out, if I ever got a chance to be in a room full of Black people, that would just trip me out, But yeah, I'm trying to move, trying to get out of here, but I kind of just give up. I don't know.
Well, let me add in, sister, because we had a conversation earlier, and it was one of the most beautiful wake ups. I was already awakened, right? But it's like I was just laying there, and the phone rung, and it was you. And we spoke about getting you out of there. And up in that part of the country, it ain't gonna work. If we can get you where other Black folks are, we know we have our own issues, but you need to be around a place where you don't have to be on guard like you are 24/7.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
It's not just about money, but collectively, if we knew someone who had a place, a room, a garage, something where you can get a little job and work and rebuild your life and get away from that type of energy, your life would be changed like so much, because we're all not bad, and
right.
Like I said, I want to put your email in rotation and your number if possible, or if you can type that in before we leave, which I'm in no rush. It's Friday night, and we still can have a conference call and whoever's coming in, but share your information and just have everybody come and reach out to you, even if they don't have anything to share as far as resources, just to give you a good word and check up on you.
Right. I put my email in the back chat, Brother Lance, or you have it. And please, even if you just need to vent, we can do that, because I got a lot of free time now too. I'm healing, self-healing. That's why I've been underground trying to heal myself, licking my wounds. I took a couple L's. Nobody's perfect though. Don't hold yourself to such a high bar. It's okay to be mad. Why wouldn't we be mad as Black women, yo? Mm-hmm. And Black men, why can't we be angry, right? We're supposed to be mad. This is not normal. We're not supposed to numb ourselves to the world, put on a mean mug and go out there and have to be masculine just to keep the world up off us so we can go to work and do our 8 and get out. You feel me? You're not supposed to be on guard all the time like that. So you should be around people who don't want anything from you but to love you and build you up. You always want to try to connect with a man, especially Brother Lance, a brother that's in your corner that don't want nothing from you but to see you rise up. You're in a good place right here, sister. And I done took up enough time. Love you all. Peace and blessings. I'm going to drop down.
We got to have you on when you're ready, sister. Whenever you're ready, just let me know when you come on when you want to talk about some stuff and share some stuff. I'm always here. Same number. Kwame, Brother Kwame.
Yes,
here.
Sir. How you doing, brother?
Yes. Talk to Sister Ellie.
Yes, I will talk to Sister Ellie. Sister Ellie, how are you?
Well, I'm
I know how you feel, but sister, I agree with everything what Brother Kojo says. Yeah, we all are supporting you. I know it's a very painful time for you, but don't be down, okay, my sister? We live in a world which is full of wicked people. and it doesn't matter who they are. Even yes, our own even know better. Not just only whites, our own even know better. And I'm sure Kojo agrees with me. We Africans, we can be sellouts against, we know better. And I'm not just, and also we know that Europeans, we know that they've got a problem. Whenever they see you and I, they have a problem. Yeah. So that white girl who was trying to be racist to you is not, it doesn't surprise me, because these people are psychotic. Like the book written by the late Bobby E. Wright, the psychotic racial personality, if I got it right. Psychotic racial personality. It's about them. Whenever they see you and I as non-Europeans, they come out with their nonsense that, oh, we're gonna rob them, we're gonna attack them, and so on. But you don't know us. What much do you think you know about us? You don't know. You don't know anything about us. I mean, Sister Ellie, let me tell you this. Yeah, you're a beautiful sister. You be strong and don't let anyone destroy you, okay? You take care of yourself. Kojo, take care.
Thank you, brother.
Thank
Always
you. Thank you.
Word. Yeah, that's what it's all about at the end of the day, you know? And that's what I want here. Even if we're talking about a topic, whatever you need, you come on in, we're going to rap. We're going to do our thing. And I really appreciate you, because we've had some really deep conversations and opened up, and you've undergirded me unknowingly. See, don't think I'm some like powerful internet dude who knows it. No, I'm just a regular dude like anybody else. And I hurt and I go through my trials and tribulations. And I just want to say you and so many others here have fed so much positivity in me. It's not like I'm some dynamic guy. It's just that I'm flowing off the energy that you all have given me, and I'm just giving it back. You see, that's what it is. So I have to give it back. Well, we spoke earlier for about an hour, didn't we? Right?
Yeah.
It was like, oh, I got to go. I got to do something. I was laying there. I said, man, this is perfect. I like those kind of conversations. You know, so you gave me a gift today. Just I get so caught up in what I'm doing and whatnot. I forgot to tell you that we can do something like after the show, because it came up so much. I had to make the banner and this and get the streaming code and put it here and test it. And oh man, sometimes, but I love it, because if the end result is this, it's all worth it. You see, just to see everybody show you love. And I sit back and just watch. Of course, you know, I'm gonna show you love, but you're not alone. You're not by yourself. There are people who love you. You're just physically away from them. So I'm just going to put it out there. Like, if anybody knows of any opportunity, I would say in the East Coast, the Southeast somewhere, where it's warm, a little warmer, more concentration of Black folks. Doesn't have to be just there, but just reach out. If you have an extra room and you know of a job, and you can send her an email, right? And say, hey, there's an opportunity here. You want to check it out online? My address.
Thank you so much. I would really appreciate that. You know, I don't want to take anything from anybody. I've always
No. But look, how could a seed grow if it didn't have the soil around it, if it didn't have the water to water it, didn't have the sun shining on it? And guess what? When that plant grows and bears fruit, everybody gets to eat off of it. You see what I mean? So you're giving back just being who you are.
Yeah, because I feel like they just
understand your value. You're not devalued because of the things you've been through. You're enhanced. It's just a matter of getting out of it. And then you could share your experience in a very positive way. It all depends on you decide to use it. See?
I don't really, I don't smile when I'm out. I no longer give these evil white and Mexican beasts my energy. Because I realized that they've been feeding off of my energy my entire life, you know. I didn't know the things that I know now. You know, when you get woke and you look back, it's like, oh my goodness, like, wow, like, you know, it blows you away. But I didn't know that, you know, these people were feeding off of my energy. You know, I don't give out my energy. Like, this is the most I've smiled in a long time, in a long, long time.
You know, you
Yeah, I
can come
don't.
to your smile. We need it.
Thank you. But yeah, I definitely want to move somewhere and be around other conscious Black people. Um, and I don't want to take anything from anybody. I don't want to live off of anybody. You know, I've always worked. Even as a drug addict, I still have worked. I've never been homeless. I've always kept myself sheltered. I've always done things on my own. But yes, if somebody could please help me. Every time I saved up money, something would happen, you know. And so I just kind of gave up. I just gave up. It's hard. If I don't know, it's just hard to explain. If you can just imagine, like, a lifetime of just never seeing anybody that looks like you, and when you wake up into your consciousness, it's miserable. But I know how to work it. You know, now that I'm conscious, I know how to move and groove through these evil beasts. But yeah, if somebody could help me, I would really appreciate it. I would do anything. You know, I have, you know, some skills. You know, maybe I could help you in some way. But yes, if somebody could just please help me or tell me what to do or where to go. I don't know what to do. I just sit here and I don't know what to do. I just don't know what to do.
We all need someone sometimes, sweetheart. Everybody, there's nobody that's like that where they never needed anybody. We were all born and had to depend on somebody to clean us, to feed us, to house us, to protect us. So there's nobody who can look down on you, because we've all been in that situation where we needed somebody, and even in life, whether we told it or not. So you're to be commended for bearing your soul and saying the experiences that you've been through, because there's a lot of people out here who would push their nose up at you, and they've been through worse, but they want to act like they're better than somebody else.
Yep.
You see what I mean?
Yes. I get that a lot around here. Yeah.
We see the email across the bottom, everybody. lovelightehealing999@gmail.com. That's Sister Ellie's email address. Please reach out to her. Help her out, even if it's just a kind word. I see Humble Simp in the chat room say, come to Atlanta. Well, it's going to take a lot more than just saying come to Atlanta. You probably mean well, but we need people to really say, hey, I got to sacrifice a little bit. I got a room that's not fixed up all the way. Maybe if you come and help me fix it up, that room is yours. You know what I mean? Just on a real level. Doesn't have to be, you know what I mean? Because the way this world is going on right now, we're going to be forced to understand that we need each other, right? Those of us who are here, we know that already. But some of us who are on our high horse and looking down and, oh, I'll never be in that situation. You'll never know. I've had a lot of scary situations in my life that I've been saved from before it even happened. So never feel as though you're an island that way out there. We need somebody, and we need to give. Doesn't mean just money. Money's nice if you know how to direct it, right? Because we're in this system. But that spiritual, that soul energy, that love. Hey, I got 2 plates of food here. You can have one. I got a room over here. It's kind of cold. I got a blanket here. You can cover up. Let's get through everything together. Why can't we do that?
Because, oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead. And you receive an email right now. Queen Common Sense just emailed you. You know.
Oh, thank you. Thanks. Thank you. Our people do not help one another because they've been hurt and traumatized, and we don't trust each other. And we've been programmed. We've had our eyes closed, we'll see one of our own out on the street, homeless, on drugs, and we don't stop to help them. We just, drive right by them like, oh, that crazy bitch. Oh God, look at him, look at her. And man, I'm the type of person, I just can't turn a blind eye to stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, our people are, a lot of us are, just programmed. We just have closed eyes. We don't care about one another. It's it's the PTSD, you know, the post-traumatic slave disorder, you know.
Yes.
And, you know, we turned on one another. It's sick. It's really sick. So I know that even when I go to be around my people, I know that that I'll have to be picky and choosy. You know, I won't put myself around just anybody. You know,
Right.
I don't allow people to touch me. I don't allow them to come near me, because your aura extends out 6 feet.
Right.
You know?
Right.
Yeah. And so, yeah, I don't let these beasts get anywhere near me, you know, because they're energy vampires, because they don't have a soul. So they try to get close to you to usurp some of your energy,
Yes.
you know. But I appreciate everyone. It's like being like a plant being watered. That's how I feel. You know,
You're watered now. I have a question. Do you have a passport?
No.
But somehow, somewhere you can work and get a passport, work toward that. Everybody who's leaving the positive, good comments, and also the information in the chat room, just email Ellie directly so she has it. And I'll also suggest that after the show is over, you can kind of scroll down in the chat room and see the beautiful comments.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Just email her directly. And again, I'll put that there. Let me see right here, just so you have it. And I'll just put it across the screen. Okay, okay. Queen Marat in the house. Queen Marat Rogers. Let me see. She's gonna come on in and talk to you.
Oh, okay.
Queen Marat, it says it's maybe something you might have to hit again. It says device not connected, so it might be a little it's always something that they ask for. In the meantime, here's Ellie's email address. And I'll put this across the screen. Queen Marat, check out the buttons there in the prompt of that program, because it may say open up your mic or open up your screen, whichever way you want. But I see you. I see you there. Or just hang up and call back again, or trying to connect with the link again. You know? Yeah, she's going to do that because she's going to talk to you. I know she's going to talk some good stuff to you, make you feel a certain way. Right?
Okay.
But yeah, this is not just a one show type thing. Everybody, this is sustained as with everybody. When we speak with them, Sister Sasha, Sister Ellie here, you know, you could always come here anytime and talk to everybody. And sometimes if there's no show scheduled, say, Lance, I want to talk to folks, do something for me. If I'm home, you got it. If I'm home, you got it. Even if I'm not home, I could work something through the phone. We can have you come talk, but don't ever feel like you don't have anyone at all. There's a lot of good energy out there that's looking at your face right now. They've looked at you in the past. They're looking at you now. They're going to see you in the future. And I want them to all throw all good energy to you and hit that email address right there and talk to you. And it may be at a time in the middle of the night where you really feel at your most loneliest, and you get a little message from somebody, you start talking back with them. This is how we have to use these platforms, not just for people talking about, you know, trying to get a cash app. Look, I'll ask more for a cash app for somebody else than I will myself. You know what I mean? That's what keeps me going. That's what keeps me protected, because at times in my life when things were tight, even up to recent, you know what I mean? And things just come through right away. We got to circulate that energy, but I ain't going to circulate no toxic energy, you know? Do you have a cash app, by the way?
No, I don't. No,
you have anything like cash app, anything?
No, I don't have any of those. I never, you know, I don't even know what that is, really. I've never had any of that. I'm kind of digitally invisible. I don't have a Facebook. I've never had Twitter, Snapchat, Instagram, TikTok. I don't.
Well, Cash App is a way to transfer funds. And if you don't have anything like that, when you come back on, and I'll put it back into the description area, just go on your phone, type in Cash App, and just follow the simple prompts. It'll just have you actually, if you have a bank account, connect Cash App to your bank account. So if somebody sends you something, it goes right into your bank account when you switch it over. Yeah.
Oh,
so that,
okay.
And now, and you had a Cash App, you know, we can help you out, because look, it's the bottom line. We need money in the system. And if someone gives $10 or $20 and 50 people do it, you know, 10 people do it or whatever, it's something that you can use, you know, to help get you down to wherever, you're supposed to go to, or even enhance and give yourself a break a little bit. It's not about you have to use it just for this, whatever have you. It's a way of showing love also through their means, through their system. You know, if I throw you a few bucks, it's like, this is for love. It's not just money.
Well,
you know what I mean?
I would kind of feel bad taking money from someone. It's hard because I've always done everything on my own. You know, I started working at a really young age, so it would be really hard for me to accept money like that.
So listen, sweetheart, why would the plant refuse the rainwater coming down on it? You're part of a whole system, but you're not an island. That place has made you feel like you're on your own, isolated, and you're on an island. Families show each other love. If you were out late and we all ate in the house and we know that you didn't eat, we're going to leave you out a plate or two or leave enough in the pots for you to eat. There's always a space at the table for you. We've gotten away from that. We got to get back to that. And I understand that you've always done it on your own. You're not used to taking whatever have you. I've been that way too. And people have showed me love and I'm like, okay. And they had to convince me too, because it's like, you know, I can't take this. I can't take this. And I say, well, look at what you're doing, which I feel is my duty. You're part of a whole system. If we don't preserve you, there may be a little girl somewhere else who needs you and needs to hear your experiences so that they're put on the right track. You're valuable. You got to understand that you have value. You're valued, but you're in a place where they're not going to show you value, so you think you have none, but you do.
Okay, I guess. I don't know. It's hard to...
Do you think we want to hear something bad happening? Do you think we want to hear you not having a place and you being out in the street and hungry and cold? Because it gets cold up there where you are. Not only is it cold, right, folks, it's cold weather. That's even worse. You see what I mean?
It's insane. I don't know how I've made it all by myself. I don't know how I made it because I didn't have, you know, parents or family. You know, I mean, I was around my family, you know, when I was little, but it was just all fake because they allowed me to be sexually abused and they would make fun of me for it. And they all knew what was happening and just didn't, I don't know. It's just weird. Like, I don't see how could someone ignore a child that tells them that they're being sexually abused. I just feel like they're all evil, but
yeah, it happens a lot, a whole lot.
That's insanity to me. That's insane. I would kill someone. If a child came to me and told me, oh, this person is, you know, doing something. Oh my God. Oh, I would. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't know what I would do. I would. Man, I would just. I can't even talk about it. Yeah, because you just don't. You don't mess with children because they're all we got. You know, right. They're gonna. You know, but yeah, no, it's just hard to accept help, I guess. Not hard. I guess it made me cry that someone would help me because I reached out for help. I asked the police officer, I said, hey, you know, I relapsed on drugs, you know, can you help me? And he said, no. Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, they're terrible people. They're all evil. They've kicked me out of church. They've kicked me out of the food bank. So I can't go and get food. It's just terrible. They're all evil. I don't care what people say. Oh, maybe there's good white people or whatever. But I mean, yeah, they may be, you know, good or whatever, but I just don't trust them. I can't because I'm a master's student. I've got like a double master's in white because I've been around these people my whole life. I know them inside and out, you know? And so, I don't, I just don't trust them. And they stink. They smell weird. You know, like I've heard that, like they smell like a wet dog or something. They just stink. It's just weird. I don't know.
We got Queen Marat Rogers now. I see she's connected all the way. Queen Marat, welcome on in. Talk to Sister Ellie. And I'm glad to hear from you too, but let's get you piped in with her.
Okay.
Unmute yourself. Yeah, Queen Marat. Okay, she's mute. Let me see if she's. You got to unmute yourself, Queen Marat, on your side because okay, I saw it jump a little bit.
You guys hear me?
Yeah, we
Oh,
can
there
hear
she
you.
is.
Great.
Okay, I
Great.
don't know what I swear, Lance, I'm telling you, the universe, God, I don't know it. The internet don't like me. They try to shut me out, like sometimes on my Instagram page. But sister, I wasn't listening to you completely, but I want you to know, I'm sorry that I can't get on camera and look at you face to face. I really wanted to say something to you because I can really resonate with what you're dealing with, a lot of what you're dealing with. Maybe not personally myself, but people that I've seen struggling with what you're struggling with, okay? And I want you to know that you have purpose, you are magnificent, you are amazing, and you are a child of God. Do you hear me? We are the chosen people on this earth. We are golden and chosen. That's why they can't stand us. That's why they're trying to kill us and destroy us. Do you hear me? You have life and breath in you. And let me tell you something. You're on Lance's channel. We are family here. You hear me? This is a family. This just ain't a YouTube channel. We are family, okay? We're family. So I got your email. I'm going to send you some things. I live in Florida, and I mean, I can try to see about my resources and see what I could do to help you, because I was waiting to talk to Lance, but like a lot has gone on in my life, and I was going to come and do a show with him at some point, but I had to speak to you because I see you and I see myself. I'm going to talk to you a little bit. Just take it in. Cry, girl. Let it out. It's a release. It's good. Nothing wrong with crying. Lance, I'm about to go in, Lance. I'm about to go in.
All right. All right. Let it flow. Let it flow.
So a lot of you know me. I would come on here and do my poetry. I'm a very avid supporter of Lance, but I was down for a while. I went through a lot over November up until now. My husband came home from prison. He was doing fine. And then he went back to his ways again. So I had to leave. I left with my 2 daughters, and I literally left everything. I just walked away from my life, and I had to start all over again. And it's just right now that I'm getting my footing. Like, we got a vehicle now. I have a stable job now. We were homeless from November up until right now. I still don't have a stable place. I still don't. But one thing I'll tell you, with every single thing that I went through, I stayed with gratitude in my heart. I stayed with Thanksgiving. I let the negativity just walk right up. You know how Jay-Z says, just brush it off your shoulders? That's what you have to do sometimes. Life is not going to be perfect, but how we deal with things when we going through things is what matters, because all I kept was a heart of gratitude for every little thing, no matter if it was a piece of bread. I had families feeding me and my kids. We didn't have food to eat. I had people bring us cooked food. Do you hear me? What God can do? Okay. I'm telling you, this is real. This is no joke. This is no lie. My daughters can come and tell you right now how people were cooking us food from their home and bringing us food. You are going to be okay, sister. You hear me? You're going to be okay. And every bit of what you need and deserve, God is going to send it to you. You hear me? You need to believe that and know that. All right? Because God kept showing me every step of the way. I was afraid, but I really stepped out on my faith, and I gave it to God. You know how people just say, oh, I'm going to pray, or oh, no. I literally was on, like, walking on that line and just said, God, you know what? Just take control. If I fall off this line I'm walking on, just whatever. But this is what I got to do. And he has been showing me this whole time. I got you. You are my child. I got you, and I got you and your precious seeds in my hands. I'm covering you with my feathers. I got you. We didn't spend one night in the street. We didn't spend one night not hungry. And the craziest thing that happened to me is this. I'm gonna tell you. There was a lady they would bring us food, because I'm in a program right now where the shelter, what we have to do is, we don't have a stable place. So we shuffle from church to church every 2 weeks. Just last month, I have a stable place I can stay in until I get my own place. So we don't have to shuffle through the churches no more. So when we were staying in the churches, we slept on inflatable beds. There's no kitchen. There's only a bathroom. So people brought us food, hot food every night. This little old lady, I don't know if she's from Ireland or Scotland, but her and her grandson brought me and my kids food one time. And you know how sometimes we got to be grateful when we don't have anything. Some of the food wasn't that great. You know what I'm saying? Some of the food wasn't that great. But this lady brought us some food that tasted so good. It tasted like home cooked food. So I wrote her a thank you card. Okay. Do you know what my thank you card got me? Just writing the lady a thank you card. She gave me the vehicle that I have right now. Did you hear what I just said? She gave me the vehicle that I'm driving right now. Okay. I wrote the lady a thank you card for some food, and that's what I got back. So I'm telling you, this is a testimony from me to you, sister. I am living proof that no matter what you're going through, stand on your faith, trust in God, and every single thing that you need is yours. You got to trust and believe, though. If you don't trust and believe, it ain't going to work. You got to trust and believe. You hear me? And that's what I wanted to say to you. That's what was on my heart to tell you, sister. And I got your email down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to find some. Where exactly are you? Where are you? What state are you in?
I live in Wenatchee, Washington.
You're in Washington. Okay. All right. I'm going to see what I can do. Because the lady that helps me, she knows people all over the United States. So I'm going to see what I can do to get you some resources and do whatever I can to help you. I got to screenshot this email. Thanks, Lance. Let me screenshot this right quick. I was trying to get on my computer, but it wouldn't let me. So I'm on my cell phone. That's why I couldn't do the camera. My phone's cracked.
Oh.
But I love you, sister. Listen to me. You are going to be okay. Okay. Even if it's something that I connect you to, you're going to be okay. You hear me? Because I've been going through it. Lance knows. And I told him that I was waiting for my husband. And I told him if things weren't right, I was going to leave him. And that's exactly what I did. Because I got to make sure things are right for me and mine. You hear me? Sometimes we got to do hard things so we can be okay. But we gonna be okay as long as we make the right choices and stand in our faith. Stand in our faith and be grateful and be thankful. I love you, sister.
Thank you. I love you too.
I love you, Lance.
I love you too, Queen.
I'm gonna read you something too before I go. I wrote this poem at the end of last year. It's very short. I wrote it to God, and this is what I've been living by. This was the last poem I wrote for 2022. It's called Psalms from Zion. It's very short. And it says, let go of fear, let God hear. He is always near. No longer be in worry. God is in his time, no hurry. Divine truths in divine time. God, you are amazing. And with gratitude and praise to you in all I do, in each direction I take, you will never forsake. I am grateful for my gift, and I know this is what you want me to do as I'm stomping out all enemies to glorify you. Through my poetic psalms, I say, my people, let go of fear, let God hear. He is always near, and he is so clear. I love you guys.
I love you too. Thank you so much.
Lance, I'll be in touch. I got more to the story.
Okay, I know. And I'll be right here.
I love you guys so much. I'm going to stick around, but I'm going back to my girls because they pulling on my coattails. They always in my grill, always.
All right. Thank you.
Peace and love, sister. Stay up. See, keep smiling. That's the best. Girl, the enemy can't stand me because I be smiling so much. You hear me? Keep that beautiful smile.
Thank you.
All right. Thank peace and love, y'all.
Okay, peace. Much love. Yes. Anybody else want to come on in and share? Let's I'd love to get you on a conference call, Ellie, and have everybody calling and you hear everybody's voice if you want to do that.
Okay.
Yeah. What I'm going to do, I don't know if you can get this number. I'm going to flash across the screen, but let me do that for everybody if they want to just chime in and have a little short chit chat and connect that way. And let me see. Here it is. Can you write this down? Do you see this on the screen, Ellie? This number?
Is it 321? Oh,
let's get a pencil and write that down.
Let's see. 321 521 2515. Okay, yeah, I got the number. And I just wanted to say that I do have a HUD housing voucher. Like this 1-bedroom house that I live in, it's I pay $9 a month for it. And you know, HUD, it's a nationwide, you know, program. So
Yes, I know that.
I do have that. So I want to try to keep it, you know. I really don't want to lose that that HUD voucher. So yeah, I just wanted to throw that out there. If anyone knows of some place that takes HUD, then I could just, all I have to do is just save up enough for the deposit and to get the lights and everything, you know, turned on. And yeah, but yeah, so I just wanted to let people know that. And I just wanted to say thank you to everyone. You guys make me feel good. I don't ever feel good. It's hard when you never see anyone that looks like you and you get lots of, you know, hatred, just evil energy thrown your way. I never feel good. I've just been depressed my whole life. I just been crying my whole life because, you know, you don't have anyone to talk to, and you just have to take the abuse because you don't have anyone that sticks up for you. Like they just all hate me, but I'm just really thankful. I'm really thankful to everybody. I'm sorry. I apologize if I've monopolized, you know, everyone's time or the show. I hate to make everything about me. I'm sorry about that. But
no, you don't have to apologize about that. No, because that's divinely ordered. I guess the topic we were speaking about, we put enough good time in that. This is something positive. It was time just right. That's the way it was supposed to be. And plus, we were supposed to do something today anyway. My time just went fast. And I said, okay, I'm going to contact you. We'll do something after. This worked out just fine. So you don't have to apologize for anything.
Well,
you know what I mean? We're supposed to listen. If there are any voids anywhere as a people, we're supposed to fill them in. Even we use the technology here to speak to each other. It's needed that way to communicate that. So this was divinely ordered. So don't ever have to ask or say something like that, because this is what we're here for. This is what we're here for. How are we going to be the arm and the leg, the torso and the other leg and make the other leg feel hurt? You know what I mean? We got to make up. Yeah, it's triage. We got to go right to where we need to fill up. I'm a vessel. And this is how I keep afloat. By giving this way, motivating and encouraging. That's what it's all about. If I had $1 billion, hey, I could make things a lot easier. You'll forget all about HUD too. But that's not like that right now. Like I said, we can always connect. We have a vast amount of different positive energies here on this platform. There are real people behind the chat. And you're going to find that out when you check your emails. See? Phone probably blowing up already.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I've also, I've been scared to leave because I don't know where to go, and I'm just going to be out there by myself. And, I'm just afraid to get hurt because even though I think I'm a little street smart, but like there are predators out there and they would be able to sense that I'm really kind of new. And I feel that they would take advantage of me. I'm afraid of that. I'm worried about that because I'm very naive. I don't want to say naive or gullible. I'm just very trusting. I'm very just open and honest, right. And I just hate to go out there on my own and just get taken advantage of in some way. I'm worried about that. So it would be nice to travel with someone, or at least go to a destination where I know there's people that will be there for me. Because I don't if I could pack my car up right now and leave, where am I going to go? Where am I going to stay? I guess I thought I could just sleep in my car. I would probably just go to a shelter. Huh?
That's why we have to connect. That's why we have to connect and get you to connect where they hit the email and then eventually your number, so they can speak to you directly. So let's, I don't know if you want to do a conference call where everybody can call in and talk to you for a little while.
Sure.
But Yeah, okay. Well, for everybody that's here who's not used to doing that, we can put the number up. That's what I'm going to do. Again, I had it up on that banner. We'll put that number up. You copy it and just call on in. I'll be there after I shut the show down. And that's the number right there. I'm also going to put your email address back up on the same screen so they can see it to make sure, even if it's just a kind word, you know. Okay.
Yeah.
There it is. 321-521-2515. 321-521-2515. Ellie, call that number, write it down. Call.
Okay.
Now, if you're the first one there, you're not going to hear anybody. So just give it a few moments and chill right there. They may beat you there. You might beat them. But if you don't, just chill. Okay.
Oh, sorry, you kind of cut out for a little bit.
Yeah. No, I was saying just call into that number. And if you're the first one, you're not going to hear anybody. Just wait for everybody to come file in, and I'll come in there for you, and we'll talk and we'll exchange and do different things. And I invite everybody who's in the chat room, who's listening, to call the number. You know, even if you just want to listen or just say something to Ellie, a kind word, encouraging word, and we can do this all the time also. So this doesn't hurt me or take from me in any way. It adds on to me because I know that I help to facilitate something good amongst us. You know, hey, listen, I'm getting older. I got to do some things. You know what I mean? I did a lot of dirt in my younger years. I got to make sure. And this is sincere. It's not about that. It's just being sincere and knowing my purpose. And that's what it's all about. And it brings me great joy. And that's for anybody who's here, you know? So I'm going to shut this down, everybody. I'll be there short. We'll play one song, everybody's favorite song. And then I'll be there to the number. And everybody, please call. Kwame, if you want to call, you can go to LANCESCURV.com and hit the tab in the middle. If you scroll down a bit, hit tab, it'll give you an option to go in on the link. So you don't have to call. You can just hit that link. It'll put you into the chat room, the conference line the same way. So let's do that. I'm going to hit this music, and we're all going to go to the conference line, y'all. I'm looking forward to it, all right? Okay.
Okay. Okay, all right. Well, thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Oh,
all right.
Thank you guys so much. All right. Bye-bye.
Okay. All right, sweetheart.
Okay.
Call that number. All right.
Okay. Yes, I'll call right now.
Okay. Just wait for us. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Peace. All right, everybody.